Hello and welcome to another episode here on my channel. My name is ChaosMole and today we are reacting for the first time on the new Battlefield 2042 Specialist, because DICE has finally released I think all the missing specialists, so this should be a while. I will pause in between. I haven't seen anything about this yet. The only thing I have seen is how half of the internet is absolutely loving it, and the other half of the internet wants to burn down the DICE headquarters. So, let's see how this goes. Afterwards, there's also a big blog post about all the gameplay changes coming to the full release after the beta. So let's have a look on this and see what we got, shall we? Yes. Let's. Indian?
For duty.
I think Indian. Yeah, Indian. Alright. Trojan Network. Killing a hack target reveals enemies around them. Sounds good in close quarter combat. On more open maps like we had in the open beta, you mostly see the enemy. Like, I didn't have a lot of moments where I was like, "Wow, where are you coming from?" Right? That barely happened. So, alright. So, can we get like a 4K trailer of this? Cyber warfare suit. Hack enemy equipment, inward objects. Oh my god, it's Watch Dogs. We are bringing Watch Dogs to Battlefield. Is that what we are doing? This of course begs the question, what can you all hack? There's some cameras there. I wonder if you can utilize them. But that could be interesting. Oh no. The shield guy. Oh boy. Okay.
Let's make some trouble.
Oh, hey there. Sundance? That's a nice name. Wings. Oh, she is the wingsuit user. Oh, that's cool. Oh, and you don't need a parachute? Smart explosives. Ooh. Oh, you can choose. What? Oh my gosh. Okay, South Korea. Automatically spot enemies who do damage to you. Okay, that's super helpful for me. What? Okay, what?
I'm ready if you are.
Wait. Okay, this I'm okay with. Because let's be real here. The moment somebody spots you, the moment somebody shoots at you in Battlefield, and it's not me, like I'm the big exception here, but if it isn't me, you're dead. Right? Like that's how it normally goes in Battlefield. When enemies start to shoot at you, you kind of already know where the enemy is shooting from, because you have like this outlay of you're getting damage and it shows like the general direction where it's coming from. And as a Battlefield player or a shooter player, you are very quickly to ascertain the position of the enemy. And yeah, okay, cool. But I will be honest, most of the time when somebody starts to damage you, and it's very important to note damage, you will not survive for long. Because after 2 or 3 shots, you are dead. So this might be too little too late. But this, though, on the other hand, yeah. What? we are getting a map pack. Oh my. We're getting a wall hack. I don't. Man, what's his name? Casper? I'm so sorry, dude. I'm so sorry, dude. You really got, like, the worst kit in the game with the drone. Like, everyone was like, yeah, maybe the drone isn't too bad, depending on what the other operators are, you know. As no, he got the worst kit in the game. Like, oh my god. It also stays up for some time. Who are you? Oh, Romania. Nice, level me some sometimes underappreciated, underrepresented countries. Oh, replenishes their armor. Provide armor and ammo in new loadouts? Wait, what? Oh my god, that's amazing. I wonder if you can use that in Hazard Zone. That would be crazy. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Damn, man. Provide armor. Ha! That could be cool.
Make some trouble.
I mean, the wingsuit could be really interesting if you have the high ground, right? And you can utilize that. Like, I wonder how effective it is, but that you can basically just, like, you don't have to use the parachute. It's such a big deal. Not the smart explosive, though. Because that's a grenade which is always following the target. That's so crazy. Oh. I mean, so from what I'm gathering here is, in general, they are trying to go the Dota approach, and where everything is pretty much OP and feels a bit unbalanced in itself. But the moment all those things are clashing together, they're balancing out each other. And it seems like that's what they are trying to do here with Battlefield. When you are looking at all those skills, all those passives, abilities and whatnot, the first thing you think is, what the hell, dude? In a vacuum, it seems like that those abilities are really, really strong. But when you have them in a round, they actually might balance themselves out. Well, besides of if you are Casper. If you were Casper, I'm so sorry for you, dude, but you got shoved. Like, you got just shafted here. Oof. I'm so sorry for him. But man, the new specialists look actually, they look better than the first specialists. Not gonna lie. Like, Mackie was pretty strong with his hook, but wow, especially, oh my god, the wall hack. I wonder what the cooldown is on the wall hack. Let me see. Do they show that? No. But I think it runs for like 10 seconds, which is a lot. But yeah, I wonder what the cooldown is on that. But yeah, that's crazy. That's kind of crazy. I also love this one. Like, this seems to be the better medic. And I say that because the other medic is regenerating health. The problem is that right now in Battlefield 2042, you die very quickly. You die super quickly. So regenerating health is not that necessary, and supplying armor instead seems to be such a better deal, and also let the people change their loadout on the fly, especially for what is it, the hazard zone. Wow, that would be such a big deal. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. But damn, those are some specializations. Now, let's have a look about what they have to say from the debriefing of the open beta. Our open beta was a special moment for all of us who work across the project. You all finally got hands-on with our game. Before we get into the various learnings, takeaways and improvements that we have in motion for the launch of Battlefield and beyond, we have two special thank yous. Thank you for jumping in and playing. We know how much you all look forward to a new Battlefield game, but we saw more of you on that first day than we could possibly have imagined. Watching you each discover the tools of our sandbox and the different ways in which you can use them to play the objective was truly very special for us. Yeah, like, here's the thing, we talked about this. I still believe that the beta they gave us was not a good representation of the game. It wasn't a full representation of the game by any means, and I'm kind of glad that I could play it, but I have a lot of questions. Okay, we have seen this. During the open beta, we heard some feedback that specialists were limiting teamwork, and we wanted to address this concern head on. There were multiple factors in play during the open beta that we feel contributed to the perception of how we specialized role contributions to squad play in Battlefield 2042. First, we recognized the numerous improvements to the user interface, identifying between friend and foe. Oh yeah, that was... The ping system, which was basically not functioning, and in-game team communication that were missing during the open beta, yeah, that would have been nice, are vital to team play. You didn't get to experience all of those, and so today we want to help talk you through the many different changes that you experience in the full game. Yeah, as I said, like, they did go for a build which was stable, right? That's very important, because let's be real here, there's just one killjoy above bugs and balancing, and that's crashes. Nobody wants to play a game which crashes. That's just how it is. But what you have put out there as a demo, like, you always say you want to come with your best foot forward, and this wasn't it, Chief. And you told us quite a bit, even when the beta was running. Oh yeah, this is fixed. Oh yeah, we don't have that anymore. Oh yeah, we already like improved on that in the newer versions, and so on and so forth. And it's like, well, that's great, but I have to see that in action. Especially, this is not my first rodeo as a Battlefield player since the first one. And no, I didn't mean Battlefield 1, I mean Battlefield 1942. And I had a lot of moments with DICE where they promised us one thing, where they told us this is fixed, this is already not in the new version, yada yada yada. And then the release came out, and we were like, this is exactly as it was in the beta. Like, So, yeah. Again, second, you weren't able to go hands-on with all 10 of our specialists. Well, then why didn't you put them all in? If that was a reason for concern. You decided not to put them in because you could have this marketing gig where you could now show them off. It's like, not a good showcase. Don't do that. What we learned in the open beta. Over the past few weeks since the beta, we have shared some limited insight into some of the changes, limited is a pretty good term for this, that are coming in for time for launch relative to the experience you had playing Conquest on Orbital. Increase the number of tanks that you experience on orbital. Yeah, that was weird. Not gonna lie, it's up from 4 to 8. Like, this was a pretty open map, and you had basically 2 tanks on each side. I was like, what? Made changes to movement, adding strafe input to sliding, adding the ability to vault on moving objects, and turning down jump spamming. Okay, toning down the jump spamming. Yeah, people were jumping around quite a bit. A nearby grenade indicator has been added. Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was so crazy. Like, grenades got such a huge boost because there was no grenade indicator, and it's like, yeah. Entry and exit animations are now shorter, with some being removed entirely. I was okay with that. Elevators have been fixed so that you see less funky behaviors with doors and people clipping through the elevator and all that. Yeah. But there's much more beyond that, and we want to give you an insight on the opportunities an open beta presents us when we invite the world to come and play an early look at our game. Well, early, a month before release in the gaming industry is not early. Like, it's just what it is. I have to say though, those things, they're not much. They're meaningless. They're not what the people talked about. Yes, but there was a lot of stuff where, like the elevator doors. The moment I saw this, I was like, beta. Or when the pilots were like outside of the chopper. Whatever. Firstly, we can test how our technical systems behave in the wild, bringing forward with us the learnings we had from the technical playtest in August to ensure that the solution we developed were successfully applied in the real world. Secondly, we got to compare the behaviors of how we see things behaving internally with how they behave in the hands of you, the players. Yeah, that's always interesting. Finally, an open beta on this scale provides us with the opportunity to hear directly from you on how the game feels. See, that is true, but in this case, as I said before, there will not be a lot of changes the community might demand from the open beta to the release, because they have only a month left. And as somebody who has worked on games and on the releases of games, let me tell you one thing. 1 month might be a lot depending on which work you're doing in your life. In the video game industry, a month is not a lot. That's like minor fixes, bug fixes, and polishing. But even that is already in the end phase because it takes time. So when they want to hear directly from you on how the game feels, well, if they are telling you a month before the release, this is absolutely bad, what are you gonna do about it? Well, you could postpone it, but let's be real here, ain't gonna happen. There's plenty of good discussion below covering some of our thoughts on the feedback that we have read and seen shared and discussed across various Battlefield communities. That we all appreciate seeing most was just how much joy you were having living your best sandbox life. We heard a lot of positives about the gunplay, the fidelity, and the work on return to our modern setting. We also heard plenty of constructive feedback around performance, team, and squad play, and the user interface. Yeah, the user interface. The thing is, that's one of the things that will probably not change much till release. Oh, that's interesting. This is the heat map where things are happening, basically. Yeah. That's cool. An overview of vehicle versus infantry hotspots across the entirety of Orbital. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Yeah, I like those maps. Super helpful. Below, we're helping to summarize the feedback to let you know how it performed against our designs and to give you a look at where we are today. Okay, performance. Maybe we'll do something called branching. We identify most of our stable builds, yes, and split it off from our active development branches that receive daily check-ins. That's what I already explained. We know that the open beta build will therefore not showcase where we are at today with polish and how the game plays, not benefiting from all the additional work that has been done on the game since we branched in August. Here's the thing, performance-wise, the moment I switched it from ultra to high, it still looks amazing, and I had zero issues. But everyone I talked to had the problems on ultra, and they tuned it down to very high or something, whatever the one was before. People were just like, oh, looks great, plays great, no problems, amazing. In addition to what we have seen today from our full lineup of specialists and many of the updates you can read, okay. Servers, we gained a mountain of valuable data about the performance of our servers and the process we use to keep them successfully scaled right across the experience. Through the open beta, we sustained multiple ping sites in central locations all over the world and took some important learnings from that. I have to say that that the servers were actually pretty stable. Like, I think I had one time a server which did shut down, and that was really, really unfortunate. They're talking about bots that were brain dead. Let's be honest here. The bots were absolutely brain dead. Bots are not designed as a replacement for other players. Weird. I thought they said something similar. Throughout the open beta, we were able to dedicate a great deal of time looking at why the servers were sending certain groups of players into predominantly bot-populated matches. Yeah, I had that. Like, I was thrown sometimes on servers where it was 4 versus 4. And I was like, what? Why? Our teams were then able to make real-time changes, matchmaking to ensure. Yeah, I think the last few days were actually pretty good. We were also able to monitor the behavior of matchmaking and study why it is that players were sometimes being sent to servers outside of their region. I had that happen too. Yeah, I was definitely ending up on some American servers even though I'm living in Europe. I was like, well, what am I doing here? With full appreciation that some players didn't have the optimal experience, we want to thank them for persisting. It was still alright. Like, even with higher pings, it wasn't too bad. So that's good. The user interface. Yeah, stepping aside from our review of how the technology of our game performed, let's get into the experience side of the open beta. And start talking about the system that you were interactive with. Our user interface in the open beta wasn't fully representative of the final experience. It was missing some essential components, some of which we disabled to remove deliberating and now resolve bugs, and some of which we choose to continue to focus to work on for launch when we branched in August. Big Maps, as we refer to it internally, was disabled. Some of you spotted it in the key bindings, and many of you simply expected it based on past behaviors in the Battlefield games. We have it on our builds today, and you can see it in the action below. I mean, yeah, I get it. Like, that's definitely something I expected, just to have like a map system in place. So, you know, you'll be able to pull this up at any time during live gameplay by pressing the View touchpad button on console, or I'm on PC, view overview, yada yada. Okay. I would have loved to. I hope they are talking a little bit more about the loadout interface. Yeah, that would be neat. Oh, great! You can give like commands here. Yeah, change orders, need ammo, Collins available, need healing, need ammo. Okay. That makes sense. We want to ensure that you are best equipped with the right tools to communicate with your squad. As a further example with this, we have modified the default behavior of the compass that appeared while aiming down the sights. At launch, you see that this is now always on. Thank you. So that you have the ability to easily communicate with your squad on nearby dangers. We know the battlefield plays best when you are coordinated. In addition to our ping system, the ability to quick tab an input to give contextual indicators, we have some great tools to hand over to you at launch. Ping wasn't working as well as we would have liked during the open beta. Did it actually work at all? Like, seriously? Like, it didn't really work at all. Like, you had to be so close, and then even then you had to aim down a certain pixel to get the stuff done. What is this? Oh, the updated UI. Looks all right. I mean, it's, oh yeah, now it's down there again, like when you kill something. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, that's much better. Oh, there's the ping system. Okay, you can now ping directly and all that. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, that's much better. That is so much better now. Huh. Oh, that's so much better. Okay, now telling you exactly who killed you. Oh, that's so much better. Yeah. It's much more obvious. Cool. Kill log is more readable, wonderful. We also perform significant performance passes on our colorblind settings. Yeah, somebody who has used them and felt like they didn't do really anything. Great, thanks. A special note to close out this section on UI, let's talk about the critical alert messaging, which appears at the key moments at the top of the screen. We hear you, it's too big. Yes, it was. We've reduced in size, lowered the frequency of the alerts, and we will continue to take feedback on it from all once. Okay. What I would have loved to see if they are talking about the loadout thing. So they are talking about, first up, let's talk about loadouts. In the open beta, we unlocked more of the sandbox than is experienced when you first start playing the game, as an important way of testing the behavior of certain gadgets in a live environment. For the first 4 to 6 hours in the full game, expect to be working with a reduced array of gadgets for your open gadget slot, with a journey through the ranks slowly introducing new ones for our loadouts. That's traditional experience of a Battlefield game where class fulfilled traditional roles is an experience that you graduate out of through the first 10 levels. Your specialist will have the options to choose from a medical crate, ammo crate, recoil NES M5 launcher, and your repair tool as a starting gadget, so basically what we had in the open beta, and enable the experience of playing in ways that allow players to feel the benefit of playing in more supportive roles. As you progress beyond those levels, you gain access to more specialized hardware and specialists that help to solve scenarios you can encounter. Wait, you even have to unlock the specialists? Oh, don't do that. I always hate that. That is, I'm not a fan of that. And we expect you to be regularly interacting with your loadouts on the deploy screen to react to ever-changing nature of the conquest and breakthrough gameplay. Loadouts are fully customizable. In the open beta, we set you up with 4 loadouts that mirror the traditional class structure of Assault, Medic, Recon, and so on and so forth. They be there at launch too for all the players as default, but there is actually a much bigger suite of tools available to you to help us speed up the act of switching to different setups and integrate right back into the action. From the collection screen of the main menu, you'll be able to define what your loadout is and to provide your loadout with the custom names that can allow you to quickly switch between your best setups. Finally. Good. Diving deeper, a frustration we saw shed from the beta was the feedback around inconsistency you experience with our plus menu and the need to reset your best setup on each of your weapons each round. And in the case of the AK-24, well, that was a bug. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, you can. Oh, that's wonderful. Yes. You can do it in the loadout now. Oh, that was so needed. That was so needed. Man, so many more options. I love it. That's fantastic. Huh. Good. This is much better. This is much, much better. Awesome. Oh, you can even see the zoom in now and how many shots you have and all that. Oh, that gives you so much more information. Why was that not in the open beta? Yeah, that's really good. I love this. Squad comp matters. You each experience 4 of the 10 specialists coming to Battlefield launch, so we can appreciate that experience, the full diversity of our gameplay. In Hazard Zone, we're keeping things tight and deliberate on squad comp. Okay. Man, there's so much. You know, the freedom of moving the specialists and loaders that you need to support the squad, and there's parts of experience to help reinforce that. First, there's our insertion flow. Your squad mates will be shown your player cards where you've got the chance to personalize and okay, this is like, yeah, whatever. That's not super important how my player cards are looking. I mean, it's like, yeah, cool, okay. Okay, and then you see the stuff. That's neat, but I don't think that's or was a problem. Oh, great. They give you like an overview of the map, what to do, and which are the interesting points, and what to expect here. Oh, that's really cool, man. Oh, I like that, especially the first landing. It's not just spawning in. That's pretty neat. Oh, this is after the round. Yeah, of course, they're showing off the people so that they can buy all the skills and all the skins. Not the skills, the skins. Oh. Okay. Well, that's neat. Not what I am interested in personally, but okay. We have covered a lot today, and there will be plenty of room between now and launch to talk more about the things we're at and the finer details of the experience if you yet have to encounter. We use the term IFF to describe the approaches we take to ensure that you can always and easily identify between friend and foe. IFS being improved. In the current builds, we have adjusted the behavior of the system we use to improve the experience. I mean, the biggest problem was just it was too slow. Our IFF lighting is in the process of being further enhanced to enable enemies to more readable stand out on the battlefield. Yeah, that's one of the biggest problems, right? It's just that you look at the enemies and whatnot, and you sometimes really had a problem to distinct them till the green, purple-ish, whatever color you were using was popping up on your friendly players. And then you knew, friend. We are also adjusting the tint that applies to enemy soldiers. Nice. Similar, we're working to ensure that friendly icons will no longer be occluded through walls within 40 meters to address instances of our system failing to represent the player as a friendly teammate before they have entered your field of view. Yeah. That was one of the biggest changes. Okay, cross-platform invites, controller players. Sorry, not really that interested as a PC player. But man, they've been addressing a lot. That's great, even though there has been a lot of stuff which, should have been in the beta. Like, it feels like that the game we have seen in the open beta will feel, not play, but feel very differently. And I still believe that they didn't came with their best foot forward. Keep in mind that a lot of changes were not necessarily introduced because of the open beta, but was already in place or was already planned for way before the open beta. They just didn't put it in the branch they showcased to us. So it's like, yeah, again, glad that all those changes are coming, and I'm looking forward to the release. But I hope that the open beta didn't do too much damage. Yeah, I enjoyed it personally, but I know that a lot of people did not, and they decided not to care about Battlefield anymore because of the open beta. So we will see how that plays out. But with that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like. If you didn't like this video for whatever reason, well, there's a dislike button right next to it. And if you're new to the channel, you want to see more gaming news, Battlefield news, tips and tricks for new games, reaction videos to all the big gaming events and trailers online, then I would appreciate if you might consider to leave a subscription. Now, if you do so, please don't forget to click on the bell icon, because if you don't do that, and even though you subscribe to me, you will not get a notification that I just uploaded a new video, and that is weird, but that's how YouTube works. I know. Weird. However, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.